Hey guys, Metal Jesus here. Time for another Patreon question. This one comes from Arthur, and he asks, which PlayStation Vita games have you found to play very well on the PlayStation TV mini console? And what are your general thoughts on the PlayStation TV? Was it a missed opportunity? Great question here, and I'm going to start with Irene.
I love any opportunity that I get to talk about the PlayStation Vita. It is such an underrated console in a lot of ways. It's kind of like pre-Switch times, where you could actually lie in bed and bed game a game and then also have it on your TV. Now, my most played game on the PlayStation TV is definitely Neptunia U, Action Unleashed. It is a sort of hack and slash Musou game, and I remember I was obsessed. It is actually good. I'm a huge Neptunia fan also. In a lot of ways, I feel like the Vita is my Neptunia console. I mean, most of the Neptunia games, they play well on the PlayStation TV, except for this one, Producing Perfection. It is actually not supported by the PlayStation TV, because it has a lot of touchscreen features. Other than Neptunia U, I actually also played this a bunch. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 3. It is one of the stronger Neptunia games, definitely. And another game that I played a lot on the TV was this one. Mega Tag Mansion Blonde plus Neptune versus Zombies. If you are unsure if a game plays on the PlayStation TV or not, they usually write it on the backside, like PlayStation TV compatible. So yeah, those are my games that I play the most. And yeah, underrated console. I love it. I love the Vita. I love both the PlayStation TV and the Vita. Definitely.
Alright guys, so the games I feel that play really well on the PlayStation TV, definitely Ys Lacrimosa of Dana. This game is one of my favorite games of all time. Fantastic experience. And on the Vita, it just really feels optimized for the system. This is a really good game. And another game I think plays well on the system is actually Skullgirls, 2D fighting game. Lots of fun, very well done. I always catch myself coming back to play this game like every couple of months. Really a lot of fun. And I'm gonna mention one game that's probably doesn't play well on the PlayStation TV, and that is Resident Evil Revelations Part 2. Even though I like the game a lot, I thought it was somewhat a good port. It has its good points, but mostly bad. But still, it's another game I like playing on the system. The PlayStation TV was an awesome creation from Sony. It's unfortunate that it is very expensive now because when it was able to be 100% modded, that's when it was sought after. And unfortunately, during its initial release, it didn't sell very well. So Sony didn't really opt to kind of make more of them. But if you are lucky enough to have one in your collection, definitely utilize it for what you can. But anyways, those are my choices. I know they're not exclusive, but still, those are the games I like to go to when I play on the system.
So one of the best things about a Vita TV is that it's supported by most of the indie game developers that are releasing games for the Vita. So when they release a game, they usually are cognizant enough to make sure that it's going to work on your Vita TV. So that's something that's really cool compared to the entire library of games that, is hit or miss with the Vita TV, unless you mod it. Now, these two games I'm going to talk about work great on the Vita TV factory, so you don't have to worry about modding it if you don't want to. The first one is Retro City Rampage. I love this game so much. It's basically like Grand Theft Auto, top-down action. You can get in cars. It's got radio stations. It's filled with tons of pop culture icons like the Ninja Turtles, Batman. It's got a great sense of humor. Really fun game. Super fun. It's available on tons of other platforms, but I think the Vita TV version is really fun and it works right out of the box. So this one's definitely one of my favorites. Another one here is Halloween Forever. And Halloween Forever is a really cool pixel art style action platformer, but it looks like an NES game. Kind of has a little bit of a look like Ghosts and Goblins. Definitely has a Halloween vibe going on. You're a pumpkin guy. You have a little spit fire thing. Anyway, it's a really fun platformer, and it's just charming. Super cool. So I would highly recommend both of these Vita TV games.
Sony could have done so much more with the PlayStation TV. I mean, for one, why isn't every Vita game compatible? You actually have to hack it in order to whitelist every game. And while you're hacking it, be sure to add a sharp scale, so that way, instead of blurry 720p, you'll get somewhat crisp 720p. Now, Vita games are natively 540p and lower, so you'll have a box around them, but hey, they'll look really good. I like it.
That's not it. I was wondering where that went. Well, let me tell you something really quickly about the PlayStation TV and some great games that you can play on your PlayStation Vita. I can't tell you because I don't have a PlayStation TV. However, if I did, you know, I think the compatibility is great and I think it's wonderful. It wasn't something that was heavily marketed though, was it? I mean, not just the PlayStation Vita wasn't very marketed the way it should have been, maybe the way it could have been, but PlayStation TV even less so. I remember hearing about it, I remember seeing it, but I wasn't exactly sure what it did. Like, what could it do? You know, I didn't know these things. I also didn't bother doing the research on them, unfortunately. It wasn't until that they liquidated stock and they were selling them for like dirt cheap. I remember hearing stories about, oh, I picked up a PlayStation TV for, it was like $10, $20, brand new and all that. And then that's when I started hearing about all the great things you could do emulation-wise and stuff like that through the PlayStation TV to watch your games, you know, to play them, you know, through your television, which is kind of, you know, the optimal way of playing things. I mean, portable's great, portable's fine. I'd rather play games on my television. But yeah, just missed opportunity for sure. That's a great way to put it for what we could have had and what we could have seen with the PlayStation Vita, especially going to the PlayStation TV. Oh, the music from Enchanted Forest, exactly what I was looking for.
Ooh boy, Metal Jesus gonna like this recommendation. Need for Speed Most Wanted. It plays great on the PlayStation TV, so definitely check that out. And oh god, what a missed opportunity. I mean, I feel like they gave up too early on this. It's got broken streaming services. It does not play key games that the Vita did. And the bundle came with a DualShock 3 when the DualShock 4 was out. I mean, they must have been being cheap. Who were they competing with? Set-top boxes? Consoles? What was it all about? You know, I don't want you to give up yet, though. There is a dedicated community of modders out there making this thing better by the day. So I definitely dip into those communities and see how you can make it work better than Sony ever could.
Oh man, where do I start when it comes to the missed opportunity that is the PlayStation TV and also the PlayStation Vita? Now, like others have said, for the most part, the vast majority of indie titles that were released for the Vita will work just fine on the PlayStation TV. And I suspect that's because a lot of those games aren't really using the gimmicky aspects of the Vita. You know, they're not using the back touchscreen, they're not using the camera, things like that. And so you can use a standard PlayStation 3 controller with them and play them just fine on the TV. But the other thing I want to kind of mention that doesn't get mentioned that often is that you can also play PSP games that you've bought through your PlayStation account on the Vita. I've done that many, many times, and in many ways it's actually kind of like a consoleized PSP. So these are digital only games, obviously, that you've downloaded through the store, as long as that's going to be available. But I do like that it has that ability. Also, the PlayStation TV will also play the downloaded PlayStation 1 games. So it's a very versatile little device. And yeah, you know, just a total missed opportunity on Sony's part. I just think they didn't know what to do with it, or they didn't know how to market it well. But it is a really cool device, and I think it's one of the reasons why a lot of collectors want to add them to their game collection today. It's a pretty cool little system, and yeah, it's a bummer that Sony just didn't know what to do with it. But that was a great question, and I want to thank all of the YouTube creators that help answer this question. If you haven't checked out their channels, please do so. I'll put links down in the video description below. And as always, guys, I want to thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for subscribing, and take care.